question number 27. All right, the absolute value inequalities. Now, on the last test, what happened was some of you just solved one of them. You didn't solve what? Both. You have to remember, absolute value inequalities are two inequalities. All right, they're like compound inequalities. You have to solve two of them. Make yourself a note over and over. All right, those of you guys who I'm telling, I should see this review done maybe 3 times. All right, the problems are identical. They go in the same exact order. It's going to look exactly the same. Nothing tricky. Nothing. There's 20 questions. That's it. All right? Yes, because there's graphing. There's all kinds of stuff. All right? Just stop talking. I'm telling you exactly what's on the test. I said there's 20 questions exactly like this. What do you not understand? Nothing. Nothing. That's why I said sit over there and be quiet. All right. Now, finishing question number 27. Solving this out. Here we go. We have 3x is greater than 18. X is greater than 6. Over here, 3x is less than negative 6. X is less than negative 2. Now remember, what I'm trying to get you to do is see the numbers better. If I'm greater than 6, less than negative 2, are they going in opposite directions or the same direction? Opposite directions. So now we're talking about from negative infinity to negative 2, union 6 to infinity. Will, speak up. That's good? All right. Girls, issues here?
No.
Mean it now. Ask me. All right, here we go. Number 28, 4x minus 20 is less than 8. Remember, 2 problems. 4x minus 20 less than 8. 4x minus 20 greater than negative 8. 4x less than 28. X is less than 7.
Gosh.
Shh. 4x is greater than 12. That was actually pretty good. And x is greater than 3. Now, are these going in opposite directions or the same direction? Same direction. Right? You're less than 7. Think about it. Less than 7, greater than 3. All right? So you're everything between 3 and 7. Is that good? Emily? We talked about that, right? You good now? All squared away? Allison? I don't know if that's your book up there, Allison. Are you missing a notebook? Yeah, it's probably yours. Will, you happy? Thank you. You can pull that off and give it to her. Thank you very much, Jack. Girls in the back. Hey, that makes sense? Alex, you good on that? All right, here we go again. Now, the next thing the kids forgot is to isolate the absolute value. That means whatever's on the outside of the absolute value, you got to move it away. So I have to do what first?
You have to isolate the variable.
So what do I have to do first? Someone. Subtract 3 or divide by 3 because it's attached with multiplication. So I have to divide by 3. Divide by 3. 2 minus x, absolute value, less than or equal to 2. Now you have to write it twice. So here we go. 2 minus x, less than or equal to 2. 2 minus x, greater than or equal to negative 2. Will, you good? Subtracting 2. Negative x is less than or equal to 0. Now, be careful with the negative x. X Switch the sign. Thank you. X is greater than or equal to 0. What?
So I got the same answer. I just distributed.
I don't want you to distribute.
Okay.
I don't want you to distribute. All right? Because if you're distributing a negative, it'll be wrong answer.
Oh yeah.
Do you hear me on this? That's why I'm saying isolate the absolute value first. If there's numbers on the outside of the absolute value, you got to get rid of them.
Okay.
All right? Now, on this one, we would have negative x is greater than or equal to negative 4. So x is what? Less than or equal to 4. So we're going in the same direction or opposite direction.
Opposite.
So if we're greater than 0, less than 4, same direction. Do you agree? All right. So in this case, we have bracket 0, 4. All right. Now, if you're still not understanding that, what should you draw? If you're having a little trouble seeing that, draw the number line. If you draw the number line, 100% sure you can see it. I would prefer that you say, I can know the numbers greater than 0. I know the numbers less than 4. Ben, you okay? Colin, you still okay over there? Thank you. All right. Now, do I have to isolate anything on number 30, or is it already isolated? It's already isolated. So you just have to write it twice. 9x minus 18 greater than or equal to 27. 9x minus 18 less than or equal to negative 27.
Okay. I actually need to figure out if this is right, but couldn't you just divide instead of?
Listen, I'm agreeing with you. You can divide by 9, but if you just have to be careful. All right, that's not the way I want you to do it.
Right.
When you get to algebra 2, you'll start knowing better about numbers. I would be okay with that, but right now, let's just not do that. Now, if you want to go from this point right here, you can divide by 9. So you could just say x minus 2 is greater than or equal to 3. Actually, I prefer. Yeah. Okay, I thought you were talking about the inequality. All right. First, take care of the inequality. Then I like that right there. Listen to what he just said. We should divide by 9. Because to me, it's easier when the numbers are smaller. Does everybody agree with that? All right. And so now we would just have x is what? X is greater than or equal to 5. Now we divide by 9 over here. X minus 2 is less than or equal to negative 3. So x is less than or equal to negative 1. Now I'm going to ask the same questions I've asked now. Are they going in the same direction or opposite directions? This time they are what? Opposite directions. Because you're greater than 5, think of the numbers greater than 5. Think of the numbers less than negative 1. They're going in opposite directions. Do you agree with that? And again, that's what I'm trying. For those of you guys who can't see it, that's what you're practicing. Think about the number line. I'm greater than 5 and less than negative 1. They're going in opposite directions, right? So if they're going in opposite directions, we'd say from negative infinity to negative 1, union 5 to infinity.
Oh yeah, I just looked at it.
Will, I know you're trying to do better, so tell me. You good? All right. Miss Bragdon, you okay? Colin, you still good?
Mm-hmm.
Sassy,
I'm good.
you good? Nothing from the peanut gallery up here? Y'all good?
Mm-hmm.
All right, yes.
Wait, I don't get how you got negatives.
Negative 3 plus 2.
Wait, how did you get? Why is the sign opposite?
Because when you solve an absolute value inequality, you have to change the signs. Come on now. You with me?
Mm-hmm.
Do you see that on, we did that on 29 also, right?
Mm-hmm.
We did that on 28 also. All right, don't forget, or you missed them all. So 31, first thing is I have to do what?
Divide by 4.
Divide by 4. All right, here we go. Everybody good on this? Now write it. both inequalities. 2x minus 4 greater than 4. 2x minus 4 is less than negative 4. We're happy with that? And so now 2x is greater than 8. X is greater than 4. 2x is less than 0. X is less than 0. So we're going in the same direction or opposite directions? Greater than 4, less than 0. Opposite directions. So we have from negative infinity to 0, union 4 to infinity. Everybody agree? Come on now. Allison? Kate? Big day tomorrow, girl. You good so far? All right, speak up, please. All right, if you're having any doubts. Max, you good?
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go. Now for 32, what do I have to do? Add 2, right. So now we have x minus 7, absolute value is less than or equal to 10. Now we're writing it twice. X minus 7 less than or equal to 10. X minus 7 greater than or equal to negative 10. And so now x is less than or equal to 17. X is greater than or equal to negative 3. Same direction or opposite direction?
Same here.
I think they're same direction. Does everybody agree? Will? So now I'm starting at negative 3 and going to 17. Everybody good? Now remember, tomorrow I'm not giving you clues tomorrow. All right, so 33, everybody should be able to say that's obviously what? All real numbers, right? Because an absolute value is always going to be greater than a what?
Negative.
Come on, everybody's got to be able to tell me that. An absolute value is always greater than a negative. Now, make yourself a note here. When the absolute value is with a negative, there is a problem. Absolute value equal to a negative, or absolute value greater than a negative, or absolute value less than a negative, you got to think. So again, this we would just simply say that is always true. You got two choices how to write it. All reals or negative infinity to infinity. Now, when is an absolute value less than a negative? Never. Never. No solution. Absolute value cannot be less than a negative. Absolute value cannot be less than a negative. Everybody good? Any questions? All right, 35. Now, on question 35, we haven't isolated. So 35 and 36 are as hard as it gets. The first thing I have to do is subtract 12.
Could you divide by 3?
You can actually divide by 3 first, but just normally we get rid of addition and subtraction and multiplication and division. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to divide or subtract 12. So 3 absolute value 2x minus 8 is greater than 24. Now we're dividing by 3. 2x minus 8 is greater than 8. Does everybody agree with that? Bless you. Colin, you still good over there? Jess? Any issues? You good? All right, now we're solving it. So we say what? 2x minus 8 is greater than 8. 2x minus 8 is less than negative 8. 2x is greater than 16. X is greater than 8. 2x is less than 0. X is less than 0. Same direction or opposite directions? Opposite. So again, we know we're going from negative infinity to 0 and from 8 to infinity. All right, 36. I have to do what first? Oh, hold up.
On 35, I got x is x to 8, and then x and 0.
You mean you're going from 0 to 8, right?
Yeah.
So what I want to show you now, I'm going to try to convince you of this. Do you see x is greater than 8? Right? So if I'm greater than 8, I'm going this way. If I'm less than 0, I'm going this way. You see what I'm saying? So if you ever have doubt, remember what I'm telling you now. Put it on a number line. Do you hear me? Okay, 36, isolating. Subtract 21 first. So I have 2, absolute value, negative 3x plus 7 is greater than 8. Absolute value of negative 3x plus 7 is greater than 4. Right? Now we have to write it twice. Negative 3x plus 7 is greater than 4. Negative 3x plus 7 is less than negative 4. Are we okay with this? Subtracting 4, or subtracting 7, negative 3x is greater than negative 3. Now what do I have to do to the sign? Switch. X less than 1. X is less than 1. Now here, negative 3x is less than negative 11, so x is greater than 11 thirds. X is greater than 11 thirds. You get that? Now, same direction or opposite directions? What is 11 thirds more than 1 or less than 1? More than 1, right? So they should be going now in what? Opposite directions. Do you see that now? Right? 11 thirds would be further to the right. It's greater than 1. So I think we want from negative infinity to 1 union 11 thirds to infinity. All right, girls. We're on the new topic, I believe, now. Is everybody okay with that? Absolute value inequalities. Yeah, now we're just graphing. All right. Simple. So let's remember how to graph. So here I have to go what first?
Up to.
Up to. Come on. Everybody's got to be a master of this. Up to, plot a point. Then from there I go what?
Down 3.
Down 3 to the right 4. Is it a solid line or a dotted line? Solid, because it's equal to. All right, so let's do that. Now we have to shade. Are we shading above or below? Less than, so we'd be shading what? We'd be shading below. That's pretty easy, right? Any issues on that? All right, let's check out 38. What's the y-intercept? What's the y-intercept? 0, right? Very good, 0. So we plot the point 0. Then from there we use the slope, which is down 2 to the right 1. And now we're going to graph the line. And then we're going to shade where? Above. Any issues? All right, now we got a little problem on 39 because I have to solve for what? Got to solve for y, right? So y is less than or equal to what?
Negative x minus 5.
Good job. Negative x minus 5. All right. So now to graph that, I have to do what? Go down 5. Good job. And then from there I go down 1 to the right 1. Very good job. Down 1 to the right 1. And now solid right. And now which way are we shading?
To the top.
Above or below, remember?
Below.
Below, right? Because we're less than. Above is greater than, below is less than. So we'd be graphing below. Any issues? All right. All right, we don't have that much more. All right. So now, here, we got to be careful. Subtract 2x. Negative 7y is greater than negative 2x. Now, when I divide by negative 7 again, what happens?
Switch the signs.
Switch the signs. So y is less than or equal to 2/7 x. Everybody agreeing on this? So what's the y-intercept here, guys?
0.
0. And then from there I go what? Up 2 over 7. What kind of line this time? Still what? Solid, right? Still solid. And now we're shading which direction? Less than is above or below? Below. Everybody good? Yeah, I told you it's not hard. All right, now be careful on this one. Let's move the 2x over. Negative y is less than negative 2x plus 3. Everybody see that? Now what do I do to the signs? Switch the signs. So I have y is greater than 2x minus 3. Y is greater than 2x minus 3. Everybody pretty happy with that? Because remember, you're multiplying by a negative to get rid of this negative. Good question, Miss Bragdon. You see that? You see that negative, right? So you have to switch the signs. That's what that means. You good? All right. So now how do I graph this? What do I do? Down 3. Then what? Then what? Up 2 and over 1. Remember, the slope is 2 over 1, so you go up 2 over 1. Girls, you guys are right up front. Girls, any questions? In the back? Boys in the back? You sure? Yes, ma'am. Look, how do you think? Somebody tell her how do we know? Why do I know it's a dotted line?
Because it's like if it's equal, if it's greater than or equal to, then it's a solid. But if it's not, then equal to.
Thank you. That's exactly right, Max. If there's an equal to, it's solid. If there's no equal to, it's dotted. All right. Now in this case, we're shading where?
Above.
Above. That is correct. So we're shading above. All right. Okay. Now this one, very important. Y is less than or equal to 2. What kind of line is this?
Vertical. No.
Vertical is x equals. Y equals is a horizontal. So if you forgot that, make sure you make yourself a note. Y equals horizontal line. X equals vertical line. 100% sure it's on the test. You have to either draw a Y equals or an X equals. So Y is less than or equal to 2. So I'm drawing Y is equal to 2. Does everybody agree with that?
Shade below.
And then we shade where?
Below.
Very good, Max. Shading below.
So y equals horizontal.
Yes, Y is horizontal, X is vertical. Should make yourself that note. Y equals is horizontal, X equals is vertical. All right, now this one's just annoying because it's got a couple steps to it. So here we go. So we got to solve for Y. So I have to add 3 to X to both sides. 2Y is less than or equal to 3X plus 10. Now I have to do what?
Divide.
Divide by 2. So Y is less than or equal to 3/2 x plus 5. All right, come on, guys. Everybody together. What do I have to do first?
5.
Up 5. Everybody can say up 5. Then from there, I go up 3 to the right 2. So up 3 to the right 2. Now tell me what kind of line. Solid again. And then I'm shading what direction? Below, because it's less than. All right, Will, you seem like you're in the game. Feeling good about it? All right. Colin, you have any questions? No. Emily? Allison? You good? All right. Let's see. 3 more to go, or 4 more to go, and that's it. All right, let's knock it out. Real simple. Y is greater than 3x minus 3. So what am I doing here, guys? Going what? Down 3. From there, up 3 over 1. What type of line? So let's make a dotted line here. And how am I shading? Above, because it's greater than. Thank you very much. Okay, next, what do I have to do?
Get the x on the other side.
So y is less than or equal to
Negative x minus 2.
-x minus 2. Agree with that? And so I'm going what?
Down 2.
Down 2, and then
Down 1.
down 1 to the right 1. What type of line?
Solid.
Solid, thank you very much. And we're shading where? Below. All right, guys, feeling pretty good. Uh-oh. All right, here we go. Moving the 4x. Negative 6y is less than negative 4x minus 6. Now I have to divide by what? And when I divide by negative 6, switch all signs. Y greater than 2/3 x minus 1. So I have to do what? Go ahead. Yeah. Beautiful. Down 1. And what kind of line? Good job, girl. And then tell me. Shaded. Greater than, we say. Above. Ben, are you happy?
I thought with the
Oh, thank you, Ben. Smarty pants. You can just say it, Ben. You can say you made a mistake. Go ahead, Ben. I forgot the negative 6 there.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did. You're a little late. So let's move all this. So that whole thing just needs to be moved up to what? Positive 1. Thank you, Ben. All right, good job, Ben. Yes, sir.
When you divide it by the negative 6, do you divide by the negative 6y or the negative 6?
You divide by the number in front of the y,
Okay.
right? So this is y. I all divided by negative 6. All right. Last one. Let's see if I can get this one right, okay, Ben? No more corrections. Here we go. Negative 2y greater than negative 3x minus 4. Same principle. We're dividing by negative 2. When you divide by negative, you have to switch what? Switch all the signs. So you should be able to tell me that y is less than 3 over 2x. How's that, Ben? Thank you, sir. All right. Graphing. Come on now. What do I have to do to graph this?
Start at 2.
Up 2. Perfect. Then from there.
Up 3 over 2.
Wow. Up 3 over 2. Feels kind of nice, doesn't it? All right. Now what kind of line? Dotted line. So let's draw a dotted line here. And then we're shading where? Very good. Shading below. Wow. All right. Listen, guys, I'm telling you, I already told you, but just hear me. 20 questions on the test. There's not that many. All right. The problems are exactly the same. Exactly the same. All right. Just the numbers changed up. All right. I think some of you should go home and just do this whole worksheet again. Did I post the answers for you? Yes. I also have now part 1. This is going to be titled part 2. If you want to listen, all right, to the explanations, that's perfectly fine also.
Oh, no, we have a